It's Christmas Eve, 1971. A 23-year-old Peruvian student named Luis Antonio Ramírez is broke and stranded at the Miami airport. All he wants is to get home to Lima for Christmas dinner with his mom, but every flight is full. He's desperate. He's homesick. And he's about to make one of the most insane decisions in aviation history. This is the 100% true story of the man who hijacked a plane just to go home for Christmas. Luis had been studying in the US, but now, with just a few dollars in his pocket, he was stuck. The airport was buzzing with holiday cheer, but for Luis, it was a nightmare. He saw families hugging, people rushing to their gates, and he felt a wave of despair. His mom was waiting. The turkey was probably in the oven. He had to get home. He walked over to a quiet corner, pulled a barf bag from the seat pocket in front of him, and started writing. This wasn't a letter to Santa. It was a ransom note. He bought a ticket for Eastern Airlines Flight 321, a Boeing 727, headed for New York City. He boarded the plane with 134 other passengers, his heart pounding. He found his seat, clutching the barf bag and a small, heavy object wrapped in a cloth in his pocket. It was a pistol. As the plane reached cruising altitude, Luis made his move. He walked calmly to the cockpit, knocked on the door, and when it opened, he revealed the gun. His demand was simple and utterly bizarre. He didn't want millions of dollars. He didn't want political prisoners freed. He just told the pilot, "Turn this plane around. We're going to Lima, Peru." The pilot, a seasoned veteran named Captain Al H. DeWitt, was stunned. A hijacker who wanted to go home. Luis was visibly emotional, even crying as he explained he just missed his mom and wanted to be with his family for Christmas. This wasn't your typical cold-blooded criminal. This was a homesick kid with a gun. Captain DeWitt knew he had to keep everyone calm, including the hijacker. He radioed air traffic control, explaining the situation. The news was wild. "We have a hijacker on board. His destination is his mom's house." Back in the cabin, the flight attendants were absolute legends. To prevent panic, they made an announcement. They told the passengers there was a slight change of plans and a delay. And to make up for the inconvenience, they were going to serve complimentary champagne to everyone. So there they were, a plane full of people, sipping bubbly at 30,000 feet, completely unaware they were being hijacked by a guy who just really loved his mom's cooking. It was probably the most civilized hijacking in history. The flight turned south, heading for Peru. But there was a problem. The Boeing 727 didn't have enough fuel to make it all the way from Miami to Lima. They had to make a pit stop. The new plan was to land in Grand Cayman to refuel. As they landed, authorities were waiting. The airline agreed to pay a ransom of $200,000. Not because Luis demanded it, but to ensure the safety of the passengers. They refueled the plane, handed over the cash, and Luis, now $200,000 richer than when he started, ordered the plane back into the air. Destination, Lima. As Flight 321 crossed into Peruvian airspace, the whole country was buzzing. News had spread like wildfire. A local boy had hijacked an American plane to come home for Christmas. He was becoming a folk hero. When the plane finally landed at Jorge Chávez International Airport in Lima, a massive crowd had gathered. Reporters, police, and curious onlookers were all there to witness the end of this surreal journey. And right at the front of the crowd, waiting on the tarmac, was the one person Luis did all this for, his mother. Luis walked down the steps of the plane, a national hero in the eyes of some, a criminal in the eyes of the law. He saw his mother, and her expression wasn't one of pure relief. As news cameras rolled, she walked right up to him and slapped him squarely across the face on live television. After the slap, she hugged him tightly. It was the perfect, most Peruvian mom reaction ever. "How could you do something so stupid?" Followed by, "I'm so glad you're home." Luis Antonio Ramírez was arrested on the spot. The Peruvian government was in a tricky position. The US wanted him extradited and thrown in jail for a long time, But in Peru, many people saw him as a legend, a homesick boy who took extreme measures for the love of his family. The story of the Christmas hijacker was everywhere. He became a symbol of national pride and defiance for some. Ultimately, he was tried in Peru, and thanks to massive public support, he received a surprisingly light sentence. He served only 8 years in prison. After his release, Luis lived a quiet life, forever known as the man who hijacked a plane for Christmas dinner. His story is a wild mix of desperation, love, and sheer audacity. It reminds us that sometimes, the most unbelievable stories are the true ones. A homesick kid, a Boeing 727, and a Christmas dinner that ended up costing a whole lot more than just the price of a turkey. It's a hilarious, heartwarming, and absolutely insane piece of history. So what do you think? Was he a dangerous criminal or a legendary son? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this wild ride, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more insane true stories every week, and ring that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.